take a little time and talk about Deontay Wilder, one of the most exciting fighters that have come up the pike in the last 20 years. And just over the last 5 years, he solidified himself as truly a really good fighter and one of the most exciting knockout artists that we've seen in some time. When you pull up a Deontay Wilder fight, you're on your edge of your seat the whole way through until he either lowers the boom or he runs out of time. As far as how you would look at him as a heavyweight, we're going to have to wait for the end of his career. But you know what? I'm thinking to myself that, knockout artists, guys like him, they're not all that in tune with winning rounds. For the most part, their skill set is below par. And the reason their skill set is below par is when they find out that these guys can put folks to sleep, they show them a few some types of things to help them with their positioning, with their leverage, and with their balance. But for the most part, these guys, they just let the training wheels go and they just do their thing. And when you look at guys like Sonny Liston and Mike Tyson and Floyd Patterson, and you can break it up in today's, well, I wouldn't say today, but I'm talking about the recent history. Anybody remember Ika Beabuchi, David Tua? These guys were knockout artists, but they were a little bit more sophisticated with their skills. Deontay is, I don't want to get on here and bash him. But this guy, as far as technique, it's way down there. And really, to his credit, he's so good that he's lasted this long. The guy had 10 title defenses, with the bad technique and all, because once the rocket hits the target, usually the target's obliterated. The only thing that I've been knocking on Mr. Wilder for the past, I would say, couple of years is this whole thing with Tyson Fury. I think he hasn't fully accepted the fact that he just lost in a fair and square fight with a better boxer. If you put Tyson Fury in the ring with 100% of the heavyweights who at least have 20 fights, he'll do to all of them the same thing he did to Deontay Wilder. There's nothing special as far as, Deontay is not the exception. There was nothing that he did as far as Fury is concerned that I saw that can warrant speculation that he cheated. And to me, that's the most disappointing thing about this. If you go back and you look at boxing history, you can see there have been fighters who've cheated the system and who've cheated their opponents. Some go as low as taking padding out of the gloves. Some load their gloves up with something. Some people have things that they can apply into their wraps. And as the fight goes on and the wraps begin to harden up within the gloves, you can literally see from round to round the effects that the blows are having from the person who isn't cheating. I've seen all three fights between Wilder and Fury quite a few times. I have not seen a guy who was beaten with loaded gloves, with missing padding from gloves. I just saw a guy who was outboxed and didn't understand what was happening to him. So instead of really going back and looking at the tape to find out things that he needs to improve himself and his skills that can, hey, let's see if we can work on winning a few rounds during the course of a fight, just in case it goes past or goes to the distance. We didn't see any of that from Deontay. The same Deontay Wilder that got in the ring with Tyson Fury the first time was the same one that got in the ring with him the third time. Yeah, there was a couple of, he switched trainer. He did a couple of things, worked on a few things, but definitely didn't work on those things long enough to where they'd have an effect against someone who's boxing the way that he's been boxing since before he hit double digits. You know what I'm saying? I would like for Deontay to go on a long ass vacation. Fuck Usyk. Fuck Fury. Fuck Ruiz. All these fights are career-ending fights for this guy. If you don't believe me, watch what happens when the contracts are signed and these guys go head up with Deontay. Deontay's been broken down enough within the last 2 or 3 years that getting in there with skilled guys like Ruiz, especially Usyk. You guys looking at Usyk as the smaller guy, and what's going to happen if Wilder lands the big punch on Usyk, but what if it don't come? What if them slippery legs and that beautiful head movement and those beautiful combinations from different angles ain't enough to put Deontay to sleep, but it's just enough to keep banging on him round after round until we're not going to see the effects from Deontay in the ring. The effects we're going to see 3-4 years down the line. And I'm not saying that Deontay's beneath these guys. He's right along the side of each one of these guys. But Deontay is a knockout artist. He don't know too much about winning rounds. He don't know about sticking after the jab. He don't know about footwork. He don't understand about throwing combinations, 4-5 combinations, 2-3 punch combinations around. Tie up your opponent. If you get hurt, tie your opponent up. Like, he don't know a lot about all that. All he know is bomb squad, and his bomb squad is enough to put him in the same class as a Tyson Fury and a Usyk and a Ruiz. But them bomb squad guys gas out a little bit quicker in their careers than the skilled boxers, because the skilled boxers just understand how to preserve themselves over a whole career, which I'm not saying Deontay don't, but he's going to be 37 next year. He's had those 2 tough fights with Ruiz where he was losing most of the rounds until he knocked him out. He lost the majority of rounds in the first Tyson Fury fight, completely destroyed in the second Tyson Fury fight, went 11 rounds in the third Tyson Fury fight, got a couple knockdowns, but over the course of the fight took a horrible beating to the point where it was almost, at certain points of the fight, it was just hard to watch. I would like for all of us who love Deontay, and I love Deontay for what he's gonna potentially be after boxing. I think we all should rally behind this man and encourage him. You got a bigger purpose than boxing. You've done your thing. Bomb Squad will never be forgotten. You will go down as an all-time great power puncher. But my brother, I love you. It's time to hang him up.